Hello everybody, it's Hawk here, and today we're talking about my top 5 archetypes I want to see in Speed Duels. At least in the near future, because I would like these to show up before they become completely irrelevant. Now, as you all know, if you've ever been on the SDL Discords, I like aliens, which is why we're starting with that deck. Aliens are a fun deck that never really got a chance to actually do anything in the TCG. They've flitted around periodically. I know once their Synchro package came out, they actually were played with a little. But frankly, they've always been a day late and about $1.50 short. So why not Speed Duels? I personally think Speed Duels should be... Sorry, my dog's running around. Should be where decks that didn't get a chance to shine in the TCG should go to be good. I mean, Dark Scorpions is a pretty decent deck. Cloudians is a pretty decent deck. Evil Heroes is an actual deck it's not a meme. They're good, shockingly enough. And so today we're starting with them, and every deck here is going to have a deck, in quotes. They're not all going to be full decks, because Konami would just put random reprints in. Like if they felt like reprinting, like Floodgate or something in here, they just shove it in the deck. So I'm going to go down the cards just as an idea, and then basically point out why I think they should be in the game. So aliens are simple. They make A counters, which is why we're going with the first round here. Not synchros, because yeah, we could put them in with 5Ds comes out. But I kind of want to do the token thing. I want counters. I want to spam counters everywhere, because it's funny. I like stacking up big stacks of poker chips on my cards. So we got Alien Gray, who just makes an A counter and draws a card. We've got Alien Hunter, who gets a second attack. Hypno, who can control stuff. Basically, this is the classical lineup of cards in here. The new one is Stealth Buster. Now, if you've never read Stealth Buster, and I will forgive you for not having done so, it is a fairly new card as far as Alien Sport goes. But if it is sent to the graveyard, you can target one face-up monster on the field, place 2 gay counters on it. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one card with an A counter, destroy it. You can only use each effective Alien Stealth Buster once per turn. So, this card is a foolish target. You dump it, or you set it, or you synchro with it, something, and then you get to put some free A counters out there. And then on follow-up turns, when you have A counters floating around, because that's what you have, it's what you do, you're an alien deck, you can just blow something up. It's nice, it's simple, it's not ridiculous. He is a 1700 body, which will periodically come up, and that's kind of nice. But Stealth Buster is a card that will very much assist aliens in getting somewhere, because aliens run into this weird problem of either being able to generate counters or be able to do something with the counters. They can never really find that nice middle ground until Stealth Buster and another card came out. Then they got a lot better at it, but generally using them or generating them is what they're good at, and it's hard to do both. But with Stealth Buster, you will have no problem generating counters, and then you can use them for all manner of things. And on top of that, we could easily make a skill that just is the frickin' A counter effect. So you don't have weird issues where you have a monster that really should have the A counter effect on it because it's dinky and tiny, high Alien Hunter, and then can't because it'll just die. So if Alien Hunter becomes a lot better if the A counter effect is just on all the time. Because it's easy for you to just dump counters on the opponent's monsters and then run them over with Alien Hunter and then get a second attack. Everything after that is just pretty normal stuff. I mean, Cosmic Horror Gongiel is just kind of fun. We could probably make a skill involving him. A-Cell Breeding Device just makes A counters that go on your opponent's monsters. A-Cell Incubator just gets you more A counters because every time you remove one, you put one on there, and then when you blow it up, you can just dump a whole bunch of A counters all over the field, which is really nice. We've got Ancient Ruins, where every time an alien monster is destroyed, you get more counters. Basically, you're getting this. We're really good at making counters. All of these are things you would expect. And then you get A-Cell Recombination Device. This is actually why I want them in here. I want this and I want Stealth Buster, and you can kind of just give me a pile of random aliens after that, and I'll probably make something work. Because much like Cloudians getting Aerosol, and that being the card that pushes them into actual being some kind of viable, Recombination Device does the same thing. So you target a face-up monster on the field, send one alien monster from your deck to the graveyard, and if you do, place 8 counters on that monster equal to the level of the sent monster. So for Stealth Buster, that'll be 4, and then an additional 2 for Stealth Buster's effect. So that's 6 counters, which is a lot of counters. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, add an alien monster from your deck to your hand. So it's a Foolish, and then it's a Rhoda. Beautiful. It's wonderful. It is so helpful in you just getting to do the thing you need to do. I need to dump a whole bunch of A counters onto something. Well, I don't have a way to do that immediately. Recombination device lets you do that, and then lets you summon Overlord, or get the effective Alien Hunter, or a million other things. But as you notice, it is a quick play, which lets you do something like Brainwashing Beam them afterwards, and you can just steal them for 6 turns. Or lets you interdimensional warp them, which is a trap version of Creature Swap. I don't think this is good, I just think interdimensional warp is funny. So I just want aliens in here because A counters would be relevant in Speed Duels, whereas they've never been relevant in the TCG, and that makes me sad, because aliens are fun, and I want them to be actually good for something. And apparently they were good in Duel Links, which leads me to believe they'd be perfectly fine here, so that would be great. Now, on to my next deck. Oh, look, it's more counters. Yeah, it's spell counters. I mean, we kind of have spell counters, but they're not good, because there's no skill for them, and they don't have enough stuff. Like, there's just not enough stuff here, and it bothers me. So, a lot of this is me, again, going with what I believe is plausible by Konami logic, and so there's some automatic reprints, and again, there's 2 more random reprint slots. We've got Apprentice Magician, we've got Armor EXE, I don't think it's very good, but it's there. Blast Magician, don't think it's very good, but it's there. Breaker's fine, Defender's fine. Here's your new boss, Endymion. And by extension, of course, that means we have to have Magical Citadel. But honestly, Magical Citadel doesn't do a whole lot. It just is a convenient location for you to stick your counters. Please don't make this a skill. Make it an actual card. Let me actually play the field spell. Don't make it a skill. Don't make me do that. I don't know what you want to do with a spell counter skill. Maybe let me generate more counters, because I need to generate more counters, which is kind of what Magical Citadel does, but spell counter's issue has always been generating enough counters. The effects are always awesome. You just don't have enough counters floating around the board, which is an issue. Magical Exemplar would be deeply funny, because it could get you Endymion back out of the grave, or just summon an idiot. I personally have a soft spot for Magical Marionette, just because I like the fact that it's a monster that just pops stuff and gets big. I'm a sucker for that. So, Magical Citadel and Endymion would be fine. Spell Power Grasp, I think we already have. Spell Power Mastery is fine. Like, this would be completely fine with us. You just add Endymion, so you either get Citadel or Endymion himself, and then you dump a bunch of counters on the board. And it's once per turn. That's it. That's all it does. It's totally fine. And then we can throw some spellbooks in. Power makes you big. Secret searches power. Wisdom makes you immune to traps, which is neat. Like, there you go. There's a little spellbook pile. So we can make counters for things, because we need... like, Secrets doesn't do anything if it's just searching power and frickin' wisdom. It's just a way to generate more counters. That's the whole point. I need to make more counters. I just think spell counters are fun. I like them. And they never got a chance to not suck. Because any of the good spell counter effects, mainly Endymion, came way too late to matter. And Pendulum Endymion is a cool deck. I like it. But it's just sort of been, you know, stolen and blended into the horrible monstrosity that is, you know, Pend Pile. And it's not doing its own thing anymore. Beyond that, also you could just throw in some spellcaster support, which is why I put Magical Dimension in here, because Magical Dimension is a really sweet card that most people don't actually know exist, and this would be the perfect deck to put it in. Because if you control a spellcaster, hello, Apprentice Magician, target a monster you control, tribute it, then special summon a spellcaster monster from your hand, then destroy a monster on the field. Oh look, I can just drop Endymion from my hand, or Dark Magician, or anything else. That's the whole point. I only have Pitch Black Power Stone in here because Konami would put that in there. We all know that. It's terrible. It sucks. No one likes it. It's going in because Konami would stick it in there. But I think these would be fun. Would they be meta? Probably not. But I don't know. If there's a way to consistently get 10 counters on the board and use Megaton Magical Cannon, it totally would be. My main reason is I just think it'd be a fun, somewhat aggressive control deck. And we've kind of found that, okay, having a pop isn't the biggest deal in the world. Like, Lightning Golem does that, and it's fairly easy to summon. Endymion does that, and also requires setup. So who cares? I certainly don't. I just would like to play this deck. It would be a lot of fun. On to the next one. Okay, now I'm getting insane. I'm aware of this. I'm getting completely off my rocker. It's gadgets. And it's not just gadgets. I threw some Machina stuff in here. Not really. There's just some Machina back row. This is where I'm starting to get concerned about what I'm putting in. For Aliens and for Endymion, I'm not super concerned that they're going to like suddenly snap the meta over their knee or anything. And we do need some power creep, okay? We can't just keep floating around the stupid Joey drain. I don't even think Joey's actually all that good, but that's whatever. Joey's just irritating and dumb simple to play, so you're going to run into it all the fucking time. Gadgets, with some Machina support, get weird. Now, there is no reason we can't have Gajiltron Dragon. There's nothing wrong with this card. It doesn't matter. Give it to us, Konami. I don't care, okay? Oh no, I could summon it off of Gear Town. Oh god. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's totally fine. Let me have an actual Gear Town target, please. He's just in here because he's like the old boss monster for gadgets, and I kind of want to give Ancient Gears a target off of Gear Town when it pops. That's, not Knight. The actual boss of this deck is Destroyer Dynamo, who I'm not gonna lie, I am a little concerned about. A little. I mean, we have Kaiju, so I'm slightly less concerned about that. But for those of you who do not know Destroyer Dynamo, and I will forgive you for not knowing what he does, he cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from your hand by sending 2 gadget monster cards from your hand and or face-up field to the graveyard. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects while you control a gadget monster or a gadget monster card equipped to a monster. Once per turn, you can target one other card on the field and destroy it. My concern isn't that he is a 2500 special summonable pop monster. That's fine. I don't think popping crap is a big deal. He's a once per turn pop. Again, I'm going to compare this to Lightning Golem. Lightning Golem is very consistent. It's not terribly difficult to make, and it goes bang. And it uses about the same amount of resources. I mean, it takes 3, he takes 2, but you get my point. He's not searchable. Dark Fusion is searchable. You understand. So, about the same number of resources, the same number of pops, they're about the same body. The concern is that if there's a gadget on board, he can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. Which is a little crazy. Now, that's not necessarily a problem, but I did put another card in here that probably would be a problem with this, so we'll probably ditch that one if strictly necessary. But this is really just gadgets, because gadgets are fun. I mean, I like gadgets. And then they're 2 trap monsters. I'm not putting in their, Moving Citadel or whatever, because it's kind of just irritating and obnoxious to deal with because it gets absolutely fucking gigantic, and we're not... No. We're not dealing with a giant asshole who eats all attacks. Like, it's dumb. So we've got Stronghold, and he's not very good, but he's here because he's the gadget monster. And the actual good one, which is Power Hold the Moving Battery. So he's a trap monster. And when you summon him, you can equip a level 4 machine gadget monster from your hand or deck to this card. And he's still a trap. If summoned this way, this card gains attack equal to double the attack of the monster equipped to it by this effect. So if you use green, he becomes a 2800. That's neat. You can just summon a 2800 dingus. That's fun. Isn't it? After that, I just have Gearframe and Peacekeeper in here again. Because, they're hanging out together. I was looking to see if I could put some of, the bigger Machinas in here, and they either really, really, really suck, or they're like Fortress and just way too good, and we just shove them in everything, and we don't need Fortress. We do not need everyone just spamming Fortress everywhere, because Fortress is really good. For back row is where things get fancy here. So I've added Machina Armored Unit, which is neat, because it just lets you special summon a machine monster from your deck that has the same attribute and less attack than the destroyed monster. So, you lose green gadget, you can summon red or yellow gadget. Go have fun with that. You lose gear frame, you can summon frickin' gadget. And then add cards. That's it, it's fine. This is the one I have a problem with, and I might regret of putting in here. But I'm just saying, this is definitely on the list of things Konami could put in here, and it would be helpful. While you control a level 7 or higher machine monster, your opponent monsters cannot target level 6 or lower machine monsters you control for attacks. Also, your opponent cannot target them with card effects. You are noticing he is over level 7. And you are noticing they are under level 6. This is a lock. And it's a very irritating lock. If a face-up machine monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target a machine monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So, Defense Perimeter was a card I was like, oh, that's neat. And then I kind of realized the lock, and I'm like, you know what, I'm putting it in here anyway, just because I think it's a good point of discussion, which is the whole point of this video. It's a point of discussion. It's a thing to talk about that's not, let's go make 37 more deck lists. Because honestly, I don't need to keep making deck lists, because we all make the same deck lists. So I'm going to make discussion videos like this. Because I like this sort of thing. And I would like to see the gadgets here, because all this stuff is really cool. Like, where is Destroyer Dynamo ever going to be good, other than Speed Duels? He has a chance to be relevant. The gadgets have a chance to be relevant, not just as an engine, but as a deck unto themselves, and I want that. I mean, we could probably just chuck Defense Perimeter out. I'm just saying, I put it in here as a possibility. I mean, they could just put the actual Machinas in. We could do the whole Commander Covington stupidity. That'd be funny. The last card is Unauthorized Reactivation. This is less for them and more for me being nice to unions, because I'm sorry what they've done to XYZ is mean. So you target a machine monster you control, equip one appropriate machine union monster from your hand or deck to that monster, but the union monster you equipped cannot be special summoned this turn. You can only activate one authorized reactivation per turn. There you go. I don't know if that fixes anything. I don't know if it's all that helpful, but it's there, it's neat, and this way, at minimum, you can just have Gear Frame, get a Peacekeeper equipped to it. It's cute, if nothing else. Enjoy that. But this is where, again, I've hit the power level of, I don't know if this is technically okay or not. You guys can decide. I want you to tell me. Am I overthinking that combo? Or is it probably just a little too good? You let me know. But on to the next deck. But Hawk, we already have Harpies! And they suck, okay? They suck. They're terrible. There's like nothing to work with. So yes, it's Harpies. Actual Harpies. We're giving them an actual deck now. They get to go do stuff. And no, we're not doing Cyber/Harpy shenanigans. And you're probably going, there's a bunch of modern Harpy cards in here. There is a bunch of modern Harpy cards in here. Most of them are only okay. Like, I understand the concern. And yes, we are reprinting a bunch of the standard ones, because again, I'm trying to be somewhat realistic on how this functions. This is a little wish listy. Shut up, it's my list. But we've got Dancer. Dancer is fine. She just lets you proc frickin' Hunting Ground more. Enjoy that. Harpist is just a compulse. And you have to have another card to do that. Like, you can't just have her. You have to have another one. And it's only on normal summon, so it's not even like you could grab her with Egotist or something. Actually, you can't anyway, because that's out of the deck. What am I doing? Is that hand? Hand or deck, yeah. And she's not Harpy Lady. Yeah, it's field or graveyard for her. But yeah, so you have to normal summon her with another Harpy on board, and then she's a compulse. By bouncing the other Harpy. Which is fine. It's a perfectly fine effect. And then if she dies, she's a Sangan. She's a Harpy Sangan. Neat. Enjoy your Sangan. I don't care. It's totally fine. It's not broken at all. It's just a good card. Don't know how many they'd play, but it's a solid card. We have Oracle. Oracle's just good. Oracle's just a good card. If you control a level 5 or higher Harpy monster, special summon it. I'm trying to give people a reason to play Harpy Lady Sisters. Because I personally like Harpy Lady Sisters. I think it's a neat card. They just need an actual motivating reason to play them. And Oracle is a way to do that, because then you can just special summon her. And then get more pops in a turn, which is quite nice. And then if it's normal or special summon, you can add a spell trap from your graveyard to your hand that specifically lists the card Harpy Lady Sisters in its text. So that's neat, which is like most of these cards. Most of these cards specify Harpy Lady Sisters in there. So Oracle will just let you recur cards. Neat. Again, not broken, just a nice little resource engine. We have Harpy Queen, because why do we not have Harpy Queen? She's a 1900 that searches her frickin' field spell. Like, come on, guys. Come on, Konami. This is... But Mai didn't play it. I don't give a shit that Mai didn't play it. Mai doesn't play Harpy's Hunting Ground either. Come on. Pet Baby Dragon is just fine. Like, it can be a 2400 normal summon. Cool. You've normal summoned a Monarch. Neat. You're probably noticing down here that I don't know if this one's okay or not. I put him down there because I'm not sure if it's just annoying or useless. But basically, this is me going, Harpies can have a lot more of their modern toys and not be a problem. This one's questionable. Because monsters can't target level 6 or lower Harpy monsters for attacks, which can be irritating. And you can just special summon this thing as long as you control level 6 or lower wind monster. I mean, it's in defense mode, but you can just special summon a big dumbass, which is fine. He's probably fine. He's just a big chungus. It's got a big ass, and that's it. Doesn't get any bigger. But, you know, I'm a little on that one. You guys can let me know on this one. The back row is where shit gets completely insane. Like, I just lose my brain here. So we've got Alluring Mirror Split. We've got Harpy's Feather Rest. We've got Hysteric Sign. We already have Triangle Spark. Lady Elegance and Hysteric Party. I don't think any of these are broken. None of these are broken. They're just good, okay? This is the closest one, and you're playing Sisters. Like, come on. This is all fine. None of this is insane. Like, this is just Amazon Its Village. This lets you draw some cards. It's just Pot of Avarice for Harpies. Cool. Hysteric Sign is actually quite good, because it's an Elegant Egotist searcher. But, like, who cares? It's fine. This is a perfectly fine card. You can just continually recoup resources. That's what you do. You're the resource deck. Because you cap off fairly low. Like, this is a 200 attack point boost. This is 50 points higher than Sidra. This is 2200. Come on, guys. This isn't a big deal. On to the next deck. And here we have the final deck, and the one that I am the most concerned about being way too frickin' good. Also, it has the least number of cards, and if you have eyes, you've probably recognized that it's Nephthys. Now, Nephthys is really good. It's very consistent, and it has the potential to absolutely blow the absolute hell out of your board. It's why they don't get Cerulean Phoenix. That thing is nuts, okay? Have you read that card? That card is insane. Even as such, I am kind of concerned. Like, I mean, really, I just want Hand and Sacred Phoenix, and if we want to get, like, a little frisky, Last Hope is kind of neat, because you could just pop your Phoenix and then pop a monster and giggle, because it's funny. But the rest of this, I don't think is too insane. And I know, before everyone kills me. The reason I don't think any of this is too insane is because all of it is just going to end on a Sacred Phoenix, which is a, Heavy Storm. That's it. Everything this deck does is ending on Heavy Storm. And very consistently doing so. For instance, Chronicler. Chronicler just pops a card in your hand, and then you add a target from your... Card Nephthys card in your graveyard, and then you pop a card in your hand, and you add the card you targeted to your hand. That's it. If it was Destroy by Card Effect, and then sent to the graveyard, it's the next standby phase, of course, because it's Nephthys stuff, you can add a Nephthys card from your graveyard to your hand. That's it. That's all Chronicler does. She adds stuff out of your graveyard to your hand by popping stuff. This gets you a free Nephthys summon, which is neat. You can, Defender is, during your main phase, you can destroy a card in your hand, and if you do special summon a level 4 or lower Nephthys monster from your hand, except Defender, during your next standby, after it was destroyed by card effect, or destroyed by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can destroy a Nephthys monster in your deck. Again, this is just more Phoenix. Like, the whole point of this is just shit out Phoenix. That's it. Just shit out Phoenix. Get the little buddies out here. Disciple is probably the best one here. Disciple's pretty nuts. You can destroy a card in your hand, and if you do, add a Nephthys monster from your deck to your hand, except Disciple. During your next standby phase, if it was destroyed by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can add a Nephthys spell trap from your deck to your hand. Those are pretty good. So this is the best one. Defender's next, and Chronicler's, like, fine. And then you have Hand, which is just, special summon out of the deck, so we can skip the I need to wait stage and just go kiss my ass. So that's fun. Sacred Phoenix is just a big asshole. Now we've got Conductor and Devotee. I actually went with the two rituals because they work without Cerulean Phoenix. They don't need Cerulean Phoenix to function. So this one, If it's ritual summon, you can special summon an Nepthes monster from your deck. Also, during the end phase of this turn, destroy this card. So you can just special summon Phoenix with this and then pop itself. If it's in the graveyard, you can destroy a Nepthes card in your hand, and if you do special summon it, again, we can just keep doing this sort of chicanery. It's a resource loop. This is what Nepthes is. It's a big resource loop. You just keep going and going and going. It caps off at 24, but it's got lots of popping going on. Mostly back row. It's mostly popping back row and popping its own stuff. We've got Conductor. Conductor is very good. If it's ritual summoned, you can special summon a Nepthes ritual monster from your hand or deck, except Conductor of Nepthes. If it is treated as a ritual summon, so that's how you can get the other one. If it is tributed or destroyed by a Nepthes card effect, you can activate this effect during the next standby phase. Destroy up to 3 Nepthes cards except ritual monsters, 1 from each of your hand, deck, and field. You can only use the effect of it once per turn. This is all fine. It's a 2,000 attack monster. It's not a big fucking deal. This is just share the pain, but, popping. Like, that's it. It's just share the pain, but it pops, and it's for Nepthes. Like, that's it. That's all it does. Rebirth of Nepthes is a ritual spell, and it's neat. Like, it's a ritual spell in every normal way, except if you tributed Devotee of Nepthes or Cerulean Sacred Phoenix of Nepthes, you can destroy a card on the field. That's it. So if you use Devotee to tribute summon another ritual, either itself or Conductor, you get to pop a card. That's it. That's all it does. Like, this is fine. 100% fine. Completely okay. And then you get Awakening. All Nepthes monsters you control gain 300 attack, so we're actually now capping off at 27. If this face-up card in the spell trap zone is destroyed by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a Nepthes monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard, but destroy it during the end phase. We can just cheat out Phoenix, which is nice. Okay, so this deck has like a million ways in order to just plomp Phoenix onto the board, and Phoenix is a very good card when you get to do stuff like that, because it gets to just keep going bang, 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 bang. It's very funny. Now, is this broken? Probably not. I don't think it is. It is very consistent, and this would depend highly upon the skill which it gets, if it gets one at all. Otherwise, it's... I don't know what skill it would play. I have absolutely no idea. Yeah, I got nothing. I thought about that for like another 5 seconds. I got nothing. But, again, my concern is just the consistency with which this deck gets to do its thing might be too much. Also, Heavy Storm basically on demand is a little crazy, but then again, you play really hard into Waking the Dragon, because it's not optional, you just do it. So, that might be fair. This might be fairer than I thought it was. Yeah, Phoenix might be much fairer than I thought it was. Anyway, I really like the deck. I think it's neat. I really want to see this in Speed Duels. I want all these decks in Speed Duels. Give them to me, Konami. Give them to me. Let me have them. Because this is more fun. Alright, yeah, they're not in the anime. Yes, they're not necessarily fan-favorite archetypes by whatever the hell you define that as. But people like harpies. People like aliens. People like Nepthes. And we get to make weird comments like, hey, did you guys know that aliens are tier 1 in Speed Duels? Like, weird shit like that. It's fun getting to say weird shit like that. I mean, that was half the fun of Moth. Getting to say, yeah, Great Moth's the best deck. And everyone goes, what? Yep, Great Moth's the best deck. I like doing stuff like that. Getting to say Nepthes is the best deck, or Amazonas. I mean, Amazonas is less shocking, because Duel Links happened, but pick these weird decks, these weird mechanics that didn't really get a chance to shine, and let hell fly. So, if you want to be nice to Spirits and Gemini's, I'll take that too. That would be great. But, what do you guys think? Am I completely off my rocker? Are these not actually good at all? Are they mediocre? Did I accidentally shove in something absurdly busted and I'm just too dumb to see it? I don't know. That's what you guys are for. So remember to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment below. Tell me your favorite archetype you would like to see in the game. Peace out, everybody.